Welcome to The View from the East, a new unofficial Leyton Orient podcast. This is episode 12, Taxi for McLoone. I'm Rob Bennett, and I'm joined again today by my slightly older brother, Eddie B. Eddie, how are we doing?
Hi, all. I hope you're all well. I feel refreshed, Rob, back from my recent holiday. I'm just getting ready for my pre-season now. So got the weights ready, got the treadmill ready, just getting ready for August now.
Worth mentioning for me, there was some audio issues on last week's podcast. Ed, you was away abroad in Turkey. You sounded perfect. I was on a sunshine island in the UK. I might as well have been on the moon because I sounded terrible. But hopefully today, with us both in the UK, there are no issues at all. On the menu today, we'll talk about Dan McLoone leaving the building, pre-season friendlies, photo shoots, and a few other bits and pieces in between. Ed, before we start, let's have a little bit of fun. Can you just pull up your Orient calendar for me and tell me who's there for May, please?
Yeah, I've got it right in front of you, Rob. It was a lovely present from my kids at Christmas. They get me one every year. So May, what, you just want me to call out the players?
Yeah, who's May, please?
May, I've got Sean Clare.
Oh, my God, he's on the transfer list. Ed, before you go anywhere, I'm going to say now, we'll go through the next 6 months. I've got a feeling maybe only one of those players is with us by the time the new calendar is ready for January 2027. So, Ed, let's turn over. Who's June, please?
Well, no, it's going to change, Rob. Surely some of these players will be here. Right, June, blimey. It's only back into, isn't it?
Another one on the transfer list. Right. Let's see if we can get any better. July?
July. I feel confident about July. Mizzuni. El Mizzuni.
Yeah, so, okay, one El Mizzuni. Right. So at least we've got one player ready. Who's in August?
Oh, it's Tom Ballard, isn't it?
I've got a feeling, Ed, he might not be with us for the start of the season. He might be, but he might be off quite soon. One player at least. Who's next?
September, we have Omar Beckles.
Bloody hell, he's not even playing in London. He's nearer to me in Kent. All right, that's still one player. Who's next?
October, we have... Oh, my good God. Sadly, just Karoma.
Ed, I've got a feeling he may not be with us by the end of the season. You never know. He might stay. He might get going. Right, who's next?
It can't get any worse. Right, November, we have Michael Craig.
Squad player at best. Is he keeping the bench warm? Is he cleaning Elmis's boots? Maybe?
Possibly. I feel confident for December, Rob. Shall I tell you who it is?
I know who it is, but go on.
Aaron Connolly.
We spoke about this last week, Ed. That's a 50-50, isn't it? If he starts well, he's off. So we've got 1.5 players, maybe.
I might have to ask for some of my money back, Rob. This calendar's out of date.
Maybe some advice for Orient, if you're listening. I don't know. Maybe just do a calendar of old players who have been really good for us, so we don't have to go through this black hole of players that we no longer want, but I've got to look at them for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I can't believe I've got all those players up on my wall for the next 6 months. Yeah, that might be a good idea, Rob. Yeah, some old players. Keeps it safe then, doesn't it?
Maybe Ed, your 9 darts average might go up if you put them up on the board for the rest of the year.
I can't believe how many of those players are not going to be here next year.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're still selling those calendars in the shop. Ed, people said, why are you continuing with the podcast? There's not going to be enough news to talk about over the summer with regards to Orient. We said it last week, Ed, they are the gift that keeps on giving. So let's talk about Dan McLoone. I almost called him Dan McLooney. McLoone it is. Joined us, summer of last year, July, early August, from Millwall, where he'd spent quite a lot of time. Yesterday, around about, I want to say about 10 o'clock, it might have been a bit earlier, X-message or tweet in old speak came out from the Orient Hour on their X account saying, we've had news that Dan McLoone is basically leaving the building, leaving the club, and it all went quiet. But obviously there's a lot of speculation on the forums, on X, people saying sort of, well, it must have been because he's rubbish at recruitment, this, that and the other. We don't know, do we? It could be all sorts. But it wasn't actually confirmed by the club until later in the evening, 7, 8 o'clock? And we'll get on to what they said in a moment. But what was your first thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. I thought when they got rid of Lingy, you just presumed that everyone would push up or take on a few more responsibility roles. But then, as you think about it a little bit deeper, I'd never seen him, Robert. We know that he was responsible for getting Ballard in, and we talked about this before. Perhaps he just wasn't up to the job. He'd been at Millwall, perhaps a safety comfort for 18 years. You always think the grass is greener. might have been paid a little bit more money, a few more responsibilities, and perhaps he just got found out, or he just didn't fit in with the senior management at the club. So yeah, a weird one, Rob. But I suppose what I kept on thinking, I think you're right. I think the club made an announcement around sort of 8-9 o'clock in the evening that there was tweets around 10 o'clock from the Orient hour. There's obviously a mole there somewhere who's letting this news out. I mean, it could have been him himself. He could have told them, but just seems a bit suspicious. Some of this news comes out sort of 10 hours before the club actually makes an announcement.
Yeah, I don't think it does as much as we like to get news, don't we, and stuff to talk about. I don't think it helps the vibe of the club at the moment, because obviously we're going through quite a lot of changes, aren't we? As you said, Ling leaving, or Richie's rant at the end of the season with regard to recruitment. Obviously, this is linked with it, isn't it? With a head of recruitment now leaving. I think initially, I said to you before we come onto the pod, if it was someone like Lingy leaving all of a sudden, who's been connected to the club for years and years, I'd probably feel a bit more passionate about it. You know, sort of, what's gone on there? Hope he's all right, this, that, and the other. With this geezer, I couldn't even tell you what it looks like yet. If I might walk past him in the East Stand, for all I know, I couldn't tell you. They done a good thing, actually. Remember when Lingy left and then there was like a fan forum soon afterwards? I was on that one. And people saying,
nice.
well, this Dan McLoone, he should be sort of fronting up, sort of we should be able to see him, he should be interviewing. And Nigel Travis just said, well, why should he be interviewed? What's he got to do with you? Which is right. You know, we just want him to crack on with his job and sort of do as he's told, I guess. But
I just think it would have been nice over the course of the season to have seen him once on one of these forums or a Q&A at the supporters club, just to get a feel for what his view was of how the club should be scouting players going forward. But we never saw any of that, did we? So, I mean, he could be my next door neighbour for all I know. His name's Dan.
Is it? No, you've not seen him walking down in Orient merch or nothing like that?
Not yet.
Maybe he might box it up and pull it outside. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, as I said, with all what's gone on and the timing of it, obviously we're already seeing some clubs signing players or extending their contracts, this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden you start looking at your calendar and you think, well, it's not that long until we get into pre-season. Richie obviously wants players in, doesn't he, certainly before they head off to Spain, which is probably about 5 weeks' time. They'll be in, I guess, pre-season, within 2 or 3 weeks will they start?
Yeah, I believe so.
We're only a couple of days away from June. But I mean, so and I've seen it in my occupation, I'm sure you have as well. People have been at a place for years and years, who's at Millwall for 18 years. Suddenly they go off to pastures new. They just don't fit. They either don't like it themselves, or there's just something, I wish I hadn't come here and go try something else. Maybe he's made the decision. I'm sure it may be something else in terms of others have made it for him. Or maybe he's, I don't know, got inkling of maybe others coming in. You think, well, you've made me head of recruitment. I don't want to work under someone else. What Mark Devlin said on the app or the website last night, quite a short statement. We fully understand that our supporters will be asking what's next. And I can confirm that we are in the final stages of appointing a new director of football. Now, when they've done the forums and the interviews after Lingy had left, is basically we're not going to have a director of football. Richie's going to talk to this person. Pratley's going to be involved doing this. Mark Devlin's going to sort of hold the reins of this part. And it all looks a bit of a mess. I certainly couldn't draw the sort of football club's hierarchy in terms of I'd find it difficult putting that all together. It is a bit messy, Ed, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that there's obviously, they do need someone in that position. All big clubs do, or most clubs do now, don't they, have a director of football in some sort of that capacity. So I'm sure they are looking. Perhaps this has always been the plan since January, Rob. Perhaps David Gandler perhaps is thrown his weight behind some of it a little bit more. We'll let everyone get on for the first 6 months and then I'll take a little bit more interest. Perhaps they just need to completely change it, or it obviously looks as if they're going fully behind Richie, and perhaps it'll be a connection with Richie, who the director of football will be. But it sounds as if it will be, I would expect an announcement to be sometime next week, because you're right. Players' contracts are up the end of May, beginning of June. So, we do need to start getting some of these players if we are looking at restructuring big this summer.
I mean, I know we've already been linked with players. Maybe we'll talk about that either a bit later in this episode or the next one. Obviously, there's been names put forwards or bandied about for this director of football. There's Ben Chorley, who was with us for about 4 years, played about 130 games. He's sort of had some sort of connection with Richie at Swindon. I think he was a chief scout there at the end of his career. I've been at Southampton, also a club in the French second division, doing sort of director of football recruitment jobs. But when I've looked at his sort of CV, he hasn't been there long. Southampton, he was only there from September, so less time than Dan McLoone. But the job he had in France, he wasn't there long. Also, a name I saw bandied about on the forum was Matt Harold. Now, we spoke about Matt Harold after the last home game, because he was there, I think, scouting on his goalkeeper who was with us on loan. And we joked at the time, well, maybe they're looking to get him in as a go-between between Richie and the Bold. We said that as a joke, but he actually probably fits that bill, doesn't he? Good connection with Richie, gets on it, and was one that would say no to Richie if Richie had an idea on squads or tactic. He was one who would push back on it sometimes, which Richie actually liked. And he's well respected within the club, isn't he? A bit like what Lingy was when he came in and done the job himself.
Yeah, it sort of, it does all tie up, Rob. We always sort of say we was a bit, it was funny that he was connected with the season ticket promo about 2-3 months ago. And you think, I know you played for the club, but you're associated with Bournemouth now and you're coming back and you're doing a promo for Leyton Orient season tickets for next season. Seems a bit weird. And then for the last couple of games, he was up in the gantry watching the games as well. So who's to say that this hasn't all been the plan for the last 6 months and he's just putting his face back in, telling everyone that he's still around, and perhaps he's been learning his craft at Bournemouth over the last couple of years, and what a club to be at to learn your craft as well. You know, they're a successful team, only just missed out on Champions League football. So they've obviously got the best of the best there, the best scouts for the amount of money they spend on players. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's an announcement next week and it is Matt Harold.
Yeah, someone did make that connection on the forum of the sort of analytics data sort of driven stuff they do there at Bournemouth. And I think that's something that Nigel hinted at they really want to be looking at for us moving forward. So maybe it is a connection like that. What I will say is I've been lucky enough to speak to Mike Ling and Richie on occasions during this season, and you realise when you talk to them and they're talking to you about football, players they're looking at or who they're connected with, it is such a small world, Ed, that football bubble in terms of everyone seems to know everyone. Sort of, it's like that 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, if you've ever heard of that. So if you name an actor within sort of 4, 5, 6 steps, it all leads back to Kevin Bacon. Everything at the moment seems to lead back to Richie. So he either knows them or has a good relationship with them, has worked with them in the past. I hope when Richie, for instance, when Richie saw the news of Dan McLoone leaving, I hope he wasn't having a beer while he's topping up his tan, wherever he may be in the world, and it was one of those spit your beer out moments because he didn't know. I presume he knew what was happening.
If you think about that interview he did after the game, when he was pretty much slating off the recruitment policy, I reckon this has always been in the pipeline that this was going to happen. Hence why he was probably a bit irate, to say the least, because there'd be no comeback, and he knew this was going to be the plan all along. Just a thought.
It could be also 2 faults. They'll still have their list of players that they was working with, and they were working towards buying. So you don't lose all that because this guy's left in terms of his head of recruitment role. They still have their names, this, that, and the other. Maybe we're going old school. Maybe it is the manager's in charge. He tells you who he wants. We go out and buy him. Maybe they're going that way.
Yeah, possibly. But it doesn't seem that a lot of other clubs don't go that way. It could be Rob, couldn't it? But look, we never saw him. We don't know what he looks like, Dan McLoone. But yeah, at least he got us Ballard, which was that's one positive, isn't it? If we're talking about
only if we sell him.
It's true.
Yeah. Right. That's about enough we can talk about with Dan. Obviously, we might get more information next time that we sit down and do the podcast in terms of maybe reasons behind it. Maybe someone will be on the Orient Hour this week who maybe was the mole in the camp, who has a lot more information on it. You never know, but they're getting new information from somewhere.
Well, you know what we could do, Rob? We could get Dan McLoone on. No one's heard from him, have they?
I've worked out his email address, but everything's bouncing back.
Shocker.
So, maybe. But, in a few months' time, when the dust has settled, he could be going back to Millwall for, maybe they've dragged him back there. I'd have thought maybe he got fed up coming through the Blackwall Tunnel every day. I would. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it does start up. Do you know what? He might have got a better job.
True.
If you say 18 years at Millwall, he's obviously got a bit of a good CV. They may have seen that we got Ballard this year, and he may have had the saying getting coddly. Perhaps someone else has tapped him up.
Right. Okay. Ed, next on the list of discussion points, let's look at pre-season friendlies. They said our pre-season friendlies, those looking at hopefully getting some better fixtures this year.
Oh, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I haven't seen them yet, Rob.
Yeah.
So have you got them in front of you?
Yeah, we will go to the list. Basically, they said they'd be looking at better quality pre-season so that the players are sharper, less injuries maybe, not playing on 3G, 4G pitches. So a few more have been released. So at the moment, our first pre-season is on the 10th of July, Enfield Town away. So you're not going to that one?
I think I'll give that one a miss, Rob. I guess that's for the youth players, yeah, that one.
Yeah, or it could be for all our new signings. So following that, then obviously we fly out to Spain for our pre-season warm weather training. They've lined up a fixture against newly promoted champions, Lincoln City. Lincoln City, of course, without their manager who took them up because he's jumped ship to Bristol City as soon as he could. He knew that was coming down, so he thought he'd at least give himself 2 seasons in the Championship.
Perhaps he's seen a pre-season season fixture list and gone, no, I'm out. No, we're playing Orient. Is that the best you can do? But they must be getting better, Rob, because I don't know the other two. They must be getting better.
Well, this one sounds better. Tuesday the 21st of July, away to newly promoted Hornchurch, who are now in the National League. So a lot of Orient links there. They've had a lot of our players on loan. Sam Ling's there. Martin Ling might be there for all I know. On the touchline, he'd have a half and half, wouldn't he? Hornchurch, Leyton, Orient.
Like when Brian Robson signed as a player manager, he might just have the Orient get up top and the Hornchurch get on the flag.
It'd either say Leyton Church or it'd be Horn Orient. I'll probably go for the Horn Orient one. That might be a good. Back in the day, we used to play like Dagenham and Redbridge, people like that, didn't we? They used to be quite good evenings out. And this one, Ed, you can go to 4th of August. I guess it's a last pre-season at the moment before the new season starts.
Is it a Premiership team?
No, it's not. It's Waltham Abbey away. I couldn't even tell you what league are they in.
I don't know, and I don't care.
I mean, they are Waltham Abbey away is where Sonny Perkins turns up. He scores a hat trick, and everyone thinks, oh, he's going to be a lot better this season because he tends to bully those teams. But at the moment, it's not looking great, Ed. So I suppose within that, then you've got they do that sort of fixture against Tottenham, which ends up being Tottenham's under-21s for the Justin Edinburgh Trophy, which is a good cause, but we don't get a lot out of it. I thought maybe we could throw West Ham a bone and think, so they can try and get a bit of confidence and maybe get a draw during pre-season. That's West Ham, that is, not Orient. Maybe they could play us at home. You guarantee the sellout. Surely they've got to look at something like that.
Yeah, you think that's a win-win playing West Ham, don't you? You get to test all the new facilities, you get a full house, the weather would be nice as well, all the local facilities do well out of it as well, but perhaps that's too obvious. Or perhaps they just want too much money, club like that. Perhaps they just, I'm guessing they get thrown a bone as well. But yeah, we'd have thought West Ham is easy, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know there's rumour of maybe Ipswich, but I guess that's again at home. But I think I'd rather see the Hammers. And I've just had this feeling. I've got a feeling we're going to play West Ham in a live fixture next season. Carabao Cup, 3rd round of the FA Cup. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Did you see they're in the first round of the Carabao Cup because the numbers don't work out? So we could get them.
Serves them right.
Yeah, I'd love that, wouldn't you? And did you know that the Carabao Cup first round is a week before the season starts?
Yeah, so I saw that. So, yeah, the Carabao is the date beginning the 7th. I think it's the 7th through to the 9th. And then our season starts on the 14th of August.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Kicking them out of cup before the season starts.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, though, wouldn't it? Hopefully we've got a clutch of new signings. We need about 5 or 6 heads. So how would Richie, that Carabao, you've got to go full squad, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to, don't you? I suppose it depends what... Yeah, you have to. I suppose that will be your team for the following week as well, wouldn't it? The last chance saloon for some of these players. So I would presume that of that starting 11, there'll be at least 5 new names.
Yeah, well, let's hope. Also, Ed, while you've got your calendar out, mark it down. fixtures come out on the
I've got it.
25th of June. So who's June on the calendar?
June.
Looking down on it?
June?
Yeah.
It's only Backinson, isn't it?
Mr. Backinson. Orient fixtures come out on the 25th of June. You're probably looking at some other club's fixtures by then, 'cause you might be out the building. That's not me saying it. That's what the club said. They don't want you. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, you're not saying it. No, nothing to do with you.
No, it's the club. But the club gave you that call. Right, Ed, let's look at kit photo opportunity for fans.
Ooh.
So yesterday, before the news of Dan McLoone being asked to leave the building, the club announced that fans now have a chance to play a role in Leyton Orient's 2026-27 home kit shoot alongside Maber. The fans selected will be used for filming and photos of Leyton Orient's home kit campaign for the new season, and will receive a free new Maber home shirt in return once the kit has been released. This will take place on Friday the 5th of June, so not long. And basically, you've got to be there all day, sent over. And a couple of all they want from you: name, age. I'm right in the bracket as 51. Close size. I'm between sizes, large and extra large. So, but no need for a 5XL for me. Shoe size. Why do they need my shoe size?
Interesting. You must be wearing full kit. Don't
call me one of those. No, don't call me one of those. Well, Maber do some lovely shoes, Ed. Very highly priced as well, in about £120 bracket. And a recent photo. So my photos, remember we went on the tour of the ground? We took a couple of photos. So there's one of me in the dressing room. So I thought, they all they have to do then is like, imagine me in a kit. They're bound to pick me. And then also, we done quite a dramatic one of me pretending to be the manager, pointing out to the ground from the dugout. So I thought, in case they're looking for an action sequence or an action model, I would have thought so. For it. Yeah.
Tick, Rob. There'd be no reason why they'll turn you down.
No, so I thought that's sort of, if I don't get listed for it, I would be disappointed. You're not available, Ed, because you're at the test match. So that's
I can't get there Friday, but obviously if you do get picked there, Rob, what happens? That you can't? Are you allowed to send me a picture of the kit, or is there...
No, so fans participating will be required to sign a talent release form. What's that?
A talent release form? You're the talent, aren't you?
I thought that's what they've asked people like Karoma and Backinson to sign, like talent released. So I thought that's what one of them was. And also a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. So basically that means that I'm not allowed to come on air and basically be wearing the new kit. And that's our first YouTube video.
Oh, I imagine that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't. Okay, so you could be on the shoot, but no pictures. The reality is, Rob, how are you going to stop that? Say they pick 100 people, I'm guessing, or 50. How are you going to stop one of them taking a picture and forward it on to one of their mates before you know it? Unless the kit comes out like a week later or something like that, and it might be a good thing.
We know last year, didn't they? The information came out before the actual official photo release, didn't it? And that was almost like 3 or 4 days before they released everything. So they made a boob there. Again, information being released and leaked, a bit like the Dan McLoone stuff, in terms of they can't keep it in-house without someone sort of spoiling the party, so to speak. So hopefully they'll look at that. We spoke about the photos they've done last year, and I wonder maybe this is a reason they want fans involved. So remember Reg was on that moped?
No, I'm trying to forget it, Rob. I'm trying to forget it.
Now, we said at the time, I didn't believe Reg could actually ride a moped. He didn't look confident on it. Now, I can ride a motorbike. Maybe that's why they want me. Potentially. Nice. I'll put that on my email, sort of things I can do.
Could come in handy.
I'm happy with sort of the cleanest hands I've ever seen as he was under that sort of car doing an MOT. I don't think he's ever got his hands dirty in terms of...
No, if I was a betting man, he's never been under a car.
And then if I remember rightly, there was Sonny Perkins in, is it Dreamhouse Records?
That's the one.
In Leyton. So he was in the record shop pulling out a record. I'm convinced Sonny Perkins didn't know how to put a record on a record player. So maybe they are looking for people who actually know what they're doing, as well as being obviously good looking. So to sort of represent the brand and sort of give it a bit more life.
I think you look at other club launches, you don't need players wearing the kit. And I've seen, bless them, right? They do try their best with like kit launches in like local pubs. Theo playing Paul, and you said like Reg on a Vespa. Yeah, brilliant, right? But in some ways you want to see proper fans wearing the kit to see what they actually look like, because you're looking at athletes, aren't you? All kits look great on those guys, but it doesn't feel real, does it? So perhaps with the new kit company coming on board, perhaps they've got a different view of how we should launch kits, and it should be more the fan. Yeah, the fans are the ones buying them, aren't they? You want to see
Hang
what
about
they
that.
look like.
I've just had a thought. They're Spanish-based, aren't they? Or they're a Spanish brand initially. If they're going back for that feel, all of a sudden, Rob, we need you to do a bit of bullfighting. Well, I ain't got experience in that.
I like that. That could be it, couldn't it? You could
Yeah,
wear the
or
kit.
we want you to do some keepy uppies like Maradona. I'm no good at that. I'm rubbish at keepy uppies.
Well, perhaps you can put that on your form when you send it off to them, Rob, and what your skill sets. So, what are your views on how would you launch the kit, Rob? Have you got any thoughts about how would you do it to be different from what we've done before? A little bit funny, a little bit quirky. How would you do it?
Now, it just so happens I've got a storyboard in front of me that I might have been working on for quite some time, we might have discussed before. So, do you want my idea?
Right.
So
yeah. Set the scene. Set the scene.
So this would be for a video campaign, what the youngsters call TikTok head. Obviously, we're above 50, so we shouldn't be anywhere near TikTok in terms of looking at it. But for the youngsters,
we're not allowed to.
Yeah. Well, we've got no reason to look at it. But for youngsters like our sons and daughters, then possibly it's a goer. So picture the scene. The owner of Maber is at St Pancras Station. He's come in on the old Eurostar, isn't he? He's holding the package. Right?
Cool.
Cabbie, he holds down a cab. Who's the cab driver? Who pulls up?
In a cab?
Yeah, who pulls up?
Orient Connection?
Yep, of course, yep.
It's not John Sitton, is it?
Of course, it's Sitz, isn't he? He's always looking for work in his cab. He's always asking on Twitter, how is it out there, lads? Is it busy? He always asks that every day. And he's busy today because he's picked up a great customer in terms of the head of Maber, who's holding the package, as I said. He's got a few new kits in his hand, hasn't he? But you can't see him because they're all packaged up. And right, where are we going to, mate? Leyton Orient, please. Leyton Orient. Let me tell you a few things about Leyton Orient. Sitz is driving off, isn't he? He's got his customer in the back. I hope you don't mind. I've got to pick up a few people on the way. Imagine it. You can hear like the dulcet tones of Dave Victor on the old radio. He'll sort of come into it on the video. I can't describe it perfectly in this. So, right, just got to pick up a few people on the way. Well, of course, in Orient, full of history. Always been a club sort of tradition. Who's the first punter they pick up? Peter Kitchen, isn't it? He's all dressed up. Peter Kitchen's always dressed up. Right, first customer in the back. That's your tradition there, right? And of course, we've always had characters. Who's the next pickup? Room for a small one. It's little Coxie, isn't he? He gets in, right?
Coxie, brilliant,
He's not taking up much space, right? In you get Coxie. If you wear the emblem, heart on your sleeve, the punters will always love you. Who's the next one getting in the cab? It's Theo, isn't it? Theo's in the back.
Yeah, he ticks a lot of boxes. Ticks a lot of boxes, does Theo.
Of course, and just to tick another box and to show that we support all sides of Leyton Orient. And of course, don't forget the female team, the women.
Well, you can't,
can you? Stop. They can't stop winning trophies. Who are you picking up? I guess I don't know who the captain is of the team, but you're picking up a member of the squad from last season who won everything basically in the 7th tier, wherever they are. They're getting in all those trophies in the front passenger bit with Sitz. We're on the way to the stadium, or it could be the Blackhawks Road Beer Mile, because that's where they said they're potentially doing something. So it could be there. Anyway, just before they get into the grounds, who's out on the side? It's Terry Howard, isn't it? He's trying to get a lift to Leyton Orient. John Sitz sees him, doesn't he? Not today, Howard. No chance, mate. Drives through a massive puddle, splashes Terry Howard. Terry Howard's livid. John Sitton's laughing all the way to the bank. Obviously, he's got a good rider. Then they get to Brisbane Road or the Blackhawks Road Beer Mile. That was my idea, Ed. But I thought, it doesn't sound great here, but on my storyboard I've got in front of me, it sounds brilliant. It looks brilliant. Yeah, I also thought someone's going to come on there. Oh, you wouldn't be able to do that because Transport for London don't allow filming in cabs. And I thought, yeah, thanks, Stato. But then I thought, what we do, we go like old school, like Carry On film. Like when you've got the blue screen behind the cab and it's like really bad. But it'd be like black and white footage of the Leyton Orient or something like that.
I like it. Yeah.
All sorts of crap. But anyway, that's one idea I had. So another idea I had I had to go into the shop this week to spend my ozone money.
Oh, how much did you have to spend?
Oh, no, sorry, it's O's cash, isn't it? So I had about £11. Actually, I had £10.90, but it didn't allow me to use the £10.90. I could only do 10 for whatever reason. Anyway, so guess what I bought, Ed?
So you
like
had
£10.
£10 in the O's in the shop. Ooh, it's not a lot of money, Rob, is it?
No,
What I don't know. Did you buy a scarf?
well, I did buy a scarf, but not just one scarf. Guess how many I got?
What, for £10?
Yeah,
Two.
£10.
Was it two?
I got 25 Josh Coroma scarves for
What
£10. Bargain,
for
isn't it?
10?
I only wanted one. They kept giving them to me. Take another one. Take another one. We don't need them anymore. Take another one. Take another one. I'm left with 4 bags under my arm. I've had to get an Uber home. The Uber's cost me more than my O's cash.
What are you going to do with 25 Josh Corona scarves?
I know. I'm going to melt them down and sort of make myself a nice duvet set.
You just have to hope that he signs for another club in the summer that wears red and white, and then you might be able to pass them off to the next club. Poor old Josh.
I tell you what I did come up with. You know, we spoke about this last week, and you said sizes-wise, sort of you can only get, I don't know, 5XL for the away shirt, whatever. But when I went in there, they had loads of shirts, right?
Okay.
So I thought, oh, maybe they've got an XL. I can just grab one of them or a large. But no, they were right. They were like all 5XL, 3XL, whatever. No one's going to buy them at this time of year. So what I thought was, and this is for local businesses, because I went in the coaching horses for a quick shandy afterwards. And they've got loads of Orient stuff up, haven't they, and stuff like that. And when we was in the Birkbeck, remember the landlord in his dressing gown who let us in?
Yeah,
He was saying,
nice bloke.
well, we've got a raffle. I hope I win. So I'd love a signed shirt, another one on the wall. So why don't they, all this extra stock, large sizes, they just get Don Ballard to sign them all off. He's a EFL award winner, isn't he? Young Player of the Year, Team of the Year. He signed something like that. Thanks for all your support this season, right? He signs off about 5, 6, 7 of those, right? With a thank you message, whatever it may be. You can get Richie Wellens to sign them as well, wherever. And you just give them to the local pubs. They put them up on their walls. They've got a signed shirt from potentially an England player of the future if his career keeps going as it is. Sort of your quid's in. So I just put all them up. You give one to the William IV. They've got a sports area. The Leyton Star, Bibic Tavern, like I said, Northcote, wherever it may be. And then they can do what they want. But it's just free advertising for whoever's in there. So what I did notice when West Ham played Leeds at last weekend in the Birkbeck, full of Leeds fans, because they attract the away fans, don't they, for those fixtures. So then they see something that's connected to Orient, more visual, and it's sort of passive promotion, isn't it? Just eyeballs on a product. And sort of if they say, oh, Don Ballard, that's a geezer who's just got a hat trick for whatever team he's playing for at the time. It's just passive, and you're not, as I said, you're not going to sell 3XL shirts. Just get them signed off and pass them around, or give them to Homerton Hospital, Whips Cross Hospital, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, or you just get all the players to sign them, and just you do a raffle, don't you, before the season starts or during the summer. Do you know what? Even if they sold for 50 quid, it doesn't matter. It's still 50 quid going to a charity, isn't it? But yeah, why have all the kits left? Because what will they do with them?
Yeah.
They'll probably just dump them to a charity shop, which is probably what they will. But you might as well get some money for them.
Yeah.
Just a question though, Rob, if you're going to get all the players to sign them, are we getting all the players to sign them, or just are we getting the players whose contracts could,
No.
Only
the people shown on your calendar from June to December.
You won't get anything for it though, will you? No, you got Don Ballard, and you got Aaron Connolly if he's still here. So that's all right.
Oh, and Elmiz.
Oh, well, he got 3. That's all right.
Michael Craig can sign it, but only in a very small signature or on the back, so you don't see it if you pin it on the wall.
He can sign the socks.
Yeah. Well, okay. That was one of my ideas anyway. But I'm on half term this week, so I've had too much time to think.
Email Devlin. That's what you do. Another one for him. His inbox must be overflowing.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be hearing from us, Ed. Right. I think that is all, Ed, for news this week. We've done quite a bit already. But yeah, thanks to Dan McLoone for leaving yesterday. He's filled quite a gap in this episode.
You've saved another podcast, Dan. Thank you. Well, we might have one next week with a new director of football, mightn't we?
We might have, yeah. And also, we keep promising we will be doing our World Cup shows because that is right around the corner. And I think we've got friendly next week as well. So, we'll be doing that. Just to confirm, we're on all podcasts affiliates, so Apple, Spotify, anywhere else you can get podcasts. We are on YouTube as an audio only. So if you just type in The View from the East, Leyton Orient, then we should come up. So they're there for you as well on YouTube. We might start doing some video ones at some point, but at the moment we're just getting used to the audio. If you want to contact us directly, then you can email me, viewfromtheeast@outlook.com, or on X, we are View from East. That's it, View from East. So, yeah, if you want to get in contact, or if there's anything you think we should be looking at, then just give us a quick email or X message. But until next week, up the O's.
Come on, you O's.